Hi, I'm Tara and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make an old favorite, at least it is for me, a patty melt. But instead of making it with a beef patty, I'm going to show you how to make it with a ground chicken patty. So this is definitely a recipe that came out of a brainstorming session between my boyfriend and I. He is super good at making burger patties. He always adds things to the meat and makes them just taste 100% better than they would all by themselves. And I never thought to do that. So I asked him what he thought might go well in a ground chicken patty, and he gave me some ideas, and we worked together to come up with this recipe. So I hope you enjoy it. So today we're going to make this patty melt with ground chicken. We're going to put it on seeded rye bread. We're going to do the caramelized onions, but we're also going to do some multicolored peppers. So I've got the bell peppers, the red and the green bell peppers, and white onion already sliced into strips and ready to go. This is a whole green pepper and a whole red pepper, and then a pretty good size yellow onion. So when you're caramelizing onions, they really cook down, and so you want to start with a lot of the vegetables so that when they cook down you have enough to put on however many burgers you're making. I am going to be using a pound of ground chicken. So this would make 2 sizable patty melts, or 4 kind of smaller ones, basically. We'll be cutting them in half, and they may be too big for one person to really handle. We'll see, right? This is the first time making this. So let's get started. And the first thing that we want to do is get the vegetables caramelizing. So I do have back here what I call Big Bertha. I wanted the biggest pan that I have for the most surface area because I do have a lot of vegetables to caramelize. So what we're going to do is hit it with some extra virgin olive oil, about a tablespoon or so, maybe a little over, and a tablespoon of butter as well. Get that in there melting. Okay, so we've got the oil and the butter melted, and I've got it on medium to high heat just to start. I'm putting the peppers and the onions in now. That's going to take the temperature down right away. And then once we get everything coated and stirred up, we'll put it to a medium-low heat so that it has a lot of time to really caramelize and soften the vegetables. We don't want to cook this too fast because we're not trying to, brown them really and char them and burn them. We really want them to caramelize. I think a good tool to use when you're doing this is tongs, because you can kind of break up the onions. Works a little better, I think. And just kind of mix everything up. I wanted to go with the green and red onions, just for the color really. And also you get some sweetness from the red, a little less sweetness from the green, but I thought it would look nicer. Okay, so while the vegetables are taking their sweet time, softening and eventually caramelizing, we will put together our chicken burger patty mixture. So first we want to get some ground chicken. This time I just went ahead and bought it ground, but you can take any chicken that you have and thaw it out and use a meat grinder, or like I've done in the past, put it in your food processor and just process it into a paste. When you put it into the pan, it's going to turn into basically ground meat. So yeah, that works. So we will take, this is a pound of ground chicken. We will put that in the bowl. Peel off the paper. And to jazz it up, we are going to add some lemon pepper seasoning. Usually I just sprinkle on, but I'm gonna try and measure for you guys so you have some sort of recipe to go by. So I am guessing, what would I want? Let's try maybe a half a teaspoon. Let's see what that looks like. I'm gonna go with a teaspoon. Teaspoon of lemon pepper seasoning is what I'm using. We'll do that. We're also going to add, I've got some Parmesan cheese. I just used the microplane and grated a bunch into a bowl. I am thinking, it's like light as snow. So just kind of pack it in there. I'm doing 1/4 cup, but packed. If you're microplaning it, pack it. So 1/4 cup I think is good. We're also going to put some breadcrumbs in it to kind of bind it, and the chicken, if you're using like ground chicken or ground turkey, it's pretty delicate, so this is going to give it a little bit of stability. And again, I feel like 1/4 cup might be good for this too. I'm using panko breadcrumbs. You could also use regular Italian bread, or regular breadcrumbs, you know, that aren't panko. Even if you have the Italian seasoned ones, that would probably taste good as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. And we're gonna do an egg as well. Just crack it right on in there. I also bought at the store today this roasted garlic stir-in paste. So I thought this might be good, and I actually squeezed a little on my finger earlier to try it, and it tastes really good. It really tastes like just freshly roasted garlic. And man, is this a shortcut, because it takes about 45 minutes to roast garlic, so we're gonna give this a try too, and I think it'll be good in this mixture, in the chicken mixture. So let's see about that. And this says that 1 teaspoon is about a medium clove of garlic. So let's see. Let's see. We'll do 1. Let's do 2. And they were kind of hefty. I like garlic. All right. I'm thinking this is going to be the ticket. Then what we want to do, use our hands and mix. So just mix this whole mixture up so that everything is incorporated. Okay, so this is pretty wet still. So I'm thinking we probably want to add maybe, let's try another 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. So I'm just rinse my hands off so I can actually get them. Okay. And we'll put in another 1/4 cup of the breadcrumbs. It's fun to build a new recipe. It really is. I'll just put this over here. Okay, so let's see if that gets us the consistency we want. I think it just might. Okay, I think that's pretty good. They're still going to be a bit soft, but they will stay together. So I think this will be good for patties. Okay. So I'm thinking, now if I made 2 equal-sized patties, 2 big patties, because our bread is quite large, like each bread piece is like that. So I'm thinking of doing just 2 half-pound patties. So I'm going to attempt to get 2 patties around the same size. I do have a scale. I probably should use it, right? All right. Or you can just go like this. Do they feel the same? Yes. Do they? I think so. All right, let's see how huge these are, and then that'll determine if I'm actually gonna do just 2. So once you get it into a ball, let's just let's make them into ovals. And these are going to shrink a bit as well. And I'm just gonna kind of lay it down. And again, remember, you know, these will probably be cut, well, these will be cut in half. And it might just be enough for each person to have like a half, you know what I mean? Okay. I think that's going to be the plan here. Is just make 2. It sticks just a little bit, but not too bad. 2 oval. Yeah, this one feels a little bigger. I'm going to add it to that. Let's see if we can get it off the plate, right? Probably should have put parchment paper down. Maybe think about that and do that rather than this. We'll make it work. All right, again, washing the hands because this is a very messy situation. I'm going to take a look at these vegetables. And I had them sitting in the pan here, I mean a good 10 minutes, probably even a little longer than that without even stirring them, but they still had a lot of liquid in them. Now I'm starting to see just a little bit of light browning. So they are on their way. But again, they do take a while. Okay, so these are in patty form. And I'm actually going to put some plastic wrap over them and pop them in the fridge while we wait. I think that that's also going to firm them up a little bit so that when we go to cook them, they'll be a little easier to handle. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Since we've got some time on our hands with these peppers and onions cooking, I'll do that. So I'm going to pop it in the fridge. Okay, next we are going to make a sauce that we can spread onto the bread and make this sandwich even more delicious. So I was thinking that we could make a garlicky mustard sauce, possibly add a little bit of honey. We're going to figure that out as we make it. And again, as always, I will put the recipe in the description box below this video. So I've got a half a cup of mayonnaise here. I use Hellmann's always, but something like Hellmann's is what I would use. Don't use anything sweet like Miracle Whip. Don't do it, man. Okay. Half a cup of mayonnaise. Then I've got Gulden's spicy brown mustard. So you want it to be a grainy mustard, grainy brown mustard, but also spicy if you can get it, because it's just going to add that extra layer of flavor and kick. So I am doing a 1/4 cup of this. Add that. Now when I'm making a new sauce, just kind of trying to create something, I kind of taste as I go. And that's the fun of it. Then you can kind of decide, well, what do I want to add next? I have ideas, but, you know, let's figure this out together, right? So right now we've just got spicy brown mustard and mayonnaise. Let's see what that tastes like. Okay. Tastes good. kind of one note, right? So I am going to add some honey, just a little bit. I think we'll go with a teaspoon and see how that goes. I don't want it to be very sweet, but I want to add some dimension of flavor. So I'll put that in there. Mix that in. Now, one thing I'm thinking as I taste this, something smoky would be good in here. Also, I think we should add some of that roasted garlic paste in here as well. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm just going to do 1 teaspoon, which would be like a clove of garlic. Let's put that in as well. Okay. Let's see here. I'm making sure that it's totally combined before I taste it. So that added just a little sweetness, but not a lot, because I don't want it to taste like honey mustard. Okay, so that tastes good. You can taste a bit of the garlic. And I'm going to go over here and stir these up again. They are slowly caramelizing, looking good. I'll let you in on this in a little bit when they get a little bit more color. All right. I have grabbed some smoked paprika and some cayenne pepper. So let's see. Let's do smoked paprika. Let's go about a teaspoon of that. And for cayenne, really just, you know what, just put a little in there. I'm going to say, what could that have been? Like this, the smallest, you know, 1/4 or 1/8 of a teaspoon or something, just a little bit. And then you yourself taste it. If it's not hot enough for you, add more, because that's really hard to say how much to put in for somebody, you know. That's a pretty personal thing, how spicy you want something. Yeah, that's great. I'm also going to add a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt, just a couple of cranks to bring out the flavor, to just waken it up. I did punch it up a notch. Isn't that weird? It doesn't taste salty, it just like wakes the flavors up. Whatever flavors you put together in something, salt will just kind of like, it's like editing your photos, you know? You take a photo and then you put it into the photo editor and you just kind of like punch it up, you know, you hit the little button and it just kind of like brightens everything up. That's kind of what salt does to food. All right, so I think we have our sauce ready to go. All right, so here you go. You can kind of see, I still have the heat, I have it on between medium and low. So you can see that everything is really cooked down a lot. And you're starting to really see the caramelization of the onions. You still see a good amount of white, and we also are starting to see that brown color as well. And you see a little bit of darker color around some of the edges, but not much, so I think our heat is good. And so just stir it and then spread it out, let it hang out 5 minutes at a time or so around this stage, and just keep stirring. So you can see right there, it's like a nice brown caramelized onion. So we are getting close. This is looking really good. At this point, it is almost done caramelizing. So at this point, we can go ahead. So now we can go ahead and add some salt and pepper. because we have not seasoned these at all yet. So just 4 or 5 little cranks there. And put in some pepper as well. Stir that about. I didn't time this, but I don't know. It's kind of, I think it did take about a half an hour or so, or it's going to have taken about a half an hour, so go a little bit longer. Alright. That looks pretty beautiful to me. I think these are pretty done. I'm going to move these off the heat. Okay, so I've got the chicken patties out of the fridge, and they do feel a little firmer, so I'm going to attempt to pry them off the plate and put them in the pan and start cooking them up. I have the heat on medium-high heat because we want them to not cook too fast, but we want them to kind of get a crust on each side. All right, the pan is hot. We're gonna put some olive oil in the pan. And get these babies going. Just kind of pry it up as best you can and get it in the pan. And then just sort of form it again. And get the other one in there. Just fill in that pan. I'll try to keep track of how many minutes on each side. So I have flipped the chicken burgers, and I've added a couple of pieces of cheese, pepper jack cheese, on top of each one. And they are almost ready to come out. I'm just checking the bottoms here. They look pretty good. So I'm going to take them off the heat. And I'm going to test the internal temperature to see where we're at. Yes, we are totally. Actually, I'll go through the cheese. Yeah, we're good. We're good. It has to be at least 165, and it is over that, so we are good. Okay, so now I've got 4 pieces of seeded rye bread, just about the same size as the patties, so awesome. And I'm using this Kerrygold butter. Just whatever butter you want to butter the bread. I figure use one with lots of flavor, you know. Because if you make every component of your recipe flavorful, then how can the finished product be bad, right? Let's put it in the pan and put everything together and grill these babies up. Okay, I'll put them. I got another pan out to make things easy on myself. Butter side down. We'll go ahead and take some of our sauce and spread that on the bread. So you get a nice pop of flavor there on each one. Just get it all the way to the edges of the bread. You want it in every bite. All right. And we'll put on a chicken patty. Look at that. Perfect size, everybody. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Perfect size. Okay. Then next, we're going to put on some of the beautiful caramelized onions and peppers. Those are great. They are worth the effort and the patience that you have to make them. And I really like doing them with pepper. This is actually the first time I've really caramelized onions with pepper, but wow. That looks even more delicious and, you know, prettier, really. And I'm using all of these, just so you know. I'm kind of just splitting them up in between. You know, more veggies is a good thing. And honestly, you know, caramelized onions freaking taste like candy, so they are some of the most delicious things you can eat. So yeah, just kind of do your best to portion that out, split it up, and then put the tops on. And I'm just going to kind of press down a bit without trying not to burn the hell out of my hand. And they are cooking. I'm going to check the bottoms. I don't want to burn these. Just to see where we're at so far. We're actually brown on that side. So I am going to flip these humongous sandwiches. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Kind of line them up after the flip there so that they can brown on the other side. The same on this side. All right, looking really good there. Nice hard top there, crunchy. And again, just kind of line them up. Press them down a bit and let this side brown up. Okay, take one of these out. So we can cut it in half. Take a look at it. Ah, they look so good. How do we cut it? Do we cut it like this? Do we cut it like this? What would be better? I'll just go in the middle. All right, so we're gonna cut this in half. Ooh. All right, what do you think? The cheese. Look at that. Looks pretty good. Oof, that looks really good. Right. So to taste this, I figured come outside since it's a beautiful day and give this a taste. Got my cold beer ready to go. Beautiful plate. I got these cute little, I don't know, what are these called? Like little toothpicks or cocktail toothpicks. This is a really cute way you can kind of present this. They are pretty big, so they're probably, you know, half as good for one person as a serving. So let's give it a taste. I'm gonna grab this one here and taste. Mmm. That is so good. This is so good. It's so cheesy. The bread is so golden brown and crispy. The peppers and onions are unbelievable. The chicken patty is very, very tender. It's staying together wonderfully, but it's not dry. It's really, really good. Flavorful. This is a great version of a patty melt. Something a little bit lighter. You can taste it, it's lighter, not so much, you know, not so greasy like a beef burger would be. amazing, amazing. And of course you can taste the sauce as well on this. So yeah, make this. I think you'll really like it, and have it with a cold, delicious beer. Thanks for stopping by again and watching another one of my videos, and I will see you next time. Cheers!